My name's Steve, and I go to the Edge Christian Centre. School days were all normal, but when I had about 12, the thing is, I was really getting sort of listening to the music that was then, and I was really interested in playing bass. Lucky enough, the thing is, my family were musical. My father was a good harmonica player, my mother played the piano and sang, and my brother played in a jazz band. And later on, we got together to play once I started playing. So when I started working, the thing is, I started serving my time as a pipe welder, but at the same time, I bought my first bass guitar, and I linked up with Brian Johnson and Ken and Freddie, and my brother, as it were, so moved on, and over the years, I've been in different bands. And when I was 23, I got married, I had a daughter, and I packed the bands in, but after a few years things started to go sour, and I thought, I went back on the road again, and after 10 years my marriage dissolved and I came back home. At the time, as I found out, my wife then wanted, apart from being married, having a home and children, she wanted a boyfriend as well. And it ended up, I felt used and abused, and it got to such an extent I couldn't take anymore. I'm saying, even my daughter from my first marriage, she was asking me things when I used to come in from work, and I had to sort this out because it was having an effect on my daughter at the time. One night, I put my daughter to bed, and I went to bed, and it got to that point I cried out. As I say, like from my younger days, I heard about Jesus, and as I say, I went so far along and I thought that was enough for me. But I was living 40 mile, 50 mile away from home, and I had something inside of me. I cried out to Jesus, and he appeared at my bedside, and I've never known peace like it, because I slept, I went out like a light, and I slept really soundly, and I had peace in my heart for about 4 days, not knowing, but it stuck in my mind, because it was another 4 years later before I got saved, you know. But I must admit, in one extent, with my ex-wife, I did speak to her, and at the time then, I led her to the Lord. And I must admit, once I became the Christian, that I forgive my wife. And at that time, the man who I took as correspondent, I'm saying, when I went to court, and I forgave him, and I became friends with the man, and I witnessed to him also. But this is where I met Leslie, and I was playing when we were down on Waterville Road, and God brought Leslie into my life, and from there I have now another 4 children. And I received when I phoned home that night, Leslie told me that my children had been divided out amongst the family because she had to go to the hospital, and they found the infection that she had attacked her kidneys, and cutting it short a little bit, it wiped her kidneys out, and because she was going through a lot of pain, and a lot of things were happening, and the things that she was going to the hospital, and everything. She nearly died with this. Our family was sort of offering, you know, for a transplant, to get onto a transplant list. And our father had died, our mum had had cancer, and our brothers and sisters had children as well, as you see, so she wouldn't at all. And that's understandable. Well, the things, it got round, and a nurse came round. I said, well, we'll try me out, you know, because Lizzie's it's a rare blood group, and because she's uncommon, you know. So I said, we'll try me out. And I went to the hospital, and you know, we take just a small amount of blood, mix it, and they found it took, and the surgeon said she couldn't have got a more perfect match. But the strange thing when we look back on it is when me and Leslie met at the church, God spoke to her and said, that's the man you're going to marry. And she thought, oh, what? You know, no way. But God was right. Because, you know, he said he couldn't have got a more perfect match.